Action.
Mom? Mom? Mom.
Mom, are you there?
Hey. Welcome to the Bilmuri podcast. It's the first episode, and I'm here with your boy, my boy, Nathan Kane.
Hello.
He almost died on the way here.
I did.
But we're gonna do this real quiet because I got neighbors, so it's gonna be like a very NPR style podcast. But Nathan hydroplaned, and how did you celebrate?
I went to Taco Bell and got 2 beefy Frito burritos, black beans for the meat. It's the go-to meal.
It's really the only thing that can happen when you go through like a certain death, but survive it experience.
It's the first thing that flashed through my eyes when I felt like I was about to die. So
yeah. So we Nathan, you want to tell them why you're here?
We are tracking. Oh, why I'm in Columbus?
Yeah.
Because we're tracking some vocals for the new Bilmuri record. It's gonna be a good time.
I know, dude. I'm fucking pumped. I'm like legitimately pumped.
It's always fun to just see like what you've written, like melody wise and everything like that.
I actually didn't write any lyrics until
You have something now?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't write any lyrics until what was it? 3 days ago. And then just an absolute well came out. It was like I think I was writing like 3 songs a day.
It's
lyrics.
Beautiful.
So I've got all the lyrics ready to go. And this one might be a sad one, dude. It might be a sad one.
Even cowboys cry, you know.
Yeah,
okay,
dude.
So.
Well, Wet Milk was like much more excited and happy and optimistic.
In, one of the best places you can be in life.
I know. Well, I just got real addicted to Molly actually during that period of time. So I was like, I was just hyped. And everyone thought, maybe he's making some changes in his life. And I was like, no.
No, this is just temporary. This is
I've made my choice.
Living fast.
It's hard drugs.
Yep.
Okay. So when I said I feel alive again, it's, I literally had just taken, this is all bullshit. I don't even know what to say. Like, I took a hit of Molly. Did I take a...
Yeah, is it a bump? I don't know. I'm not sure.
We're too Christian, dude.
Straight edge till I die.
Yeah, I mean, so anyways, this one's going to be a little bit more, it's going to be sad. It's going to be, I don't know. I like to keep things hopeful and stuff like that, but it seems like my brother's having health issues. My wife's having health issues. I was having mental health issues this week as well. So, this album will be kind of like, what the frick is going on?
You got to pour one out is sort of what it is.
Yeah, pour one out for myself, really, honestly.
You got to address it. I mean, it's not one of those things like you can pretend you're happy when you're not and have it be a sincere record. So
I know, and I always want it to be authentic to whatever we're doing. I want it to be like just me. So obviously, I would have preferred this album to be a little more happy than Wet Milk, but,
I think you strike a good balance, though. Like, I think it's really good. I love sad music. I'll listen to sad music all day long. But I think it's also good to have, like, musically you have a balance where these songs, what you've sent me is, like, has a really fun energy and it's a good vibe, but you can address people in a way that's like, hey, real shit's happening. I got to, like, address that. And I don't know. I think it's a good way to have, like, happy songs for sad people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like there's enough sad songs in the world. I mean, the songs sound really happy. It's like very hype, which is cool. I'm excited about that. And, maybe the lyrics will turn out a little better, Maybe I get to hanging out with Nathan and realize, you know what?
We got to rewrite this whole thing.
It's
make
not
it good.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's not so bad. And
we'll cure everybody's sicknesses this week. It'll be good.
Yeah. It's like friendship cures everything,
Dude, That's the real secret. That's the title, actually.
Even Molly addiction.
Cures that, or Molly addiction also cures everything.
You did interpret it how you will.
It
honestly,
goes both ways.
It's up to you. But yeah, so he's here, and the way we usually do it is we cut the fuck out of the mic. No, we wake up at like 9, we hang out, and then we go to the studio for probably like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it's not like a
12-hour
day or anything crazy. Yeah,
you can only really sing for so long.
Especially like the way that you sing. Like very emotional, very intense. Like it takes it out of you. It's not something where you just walk out totally the same as
right
how you started. So
yeah, I have to try super hard to make it sound cool for you guys.
No,
You know,
that's not what I meant.
no, I know it's definitely. After I feel like
power.
after 5 hours of vocals, my brain can't think of any more vocals to do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
It all starts to blur together. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah.
hey. It turns very pop. Very
I'm
quickly.
just like, whoa. Even though I stopped doing woes because I was like,
Did you do them?
yes, I did earlier, Bill Murray.
In Bill Murray?
Yeah, but they were always verbed out, but it was like,
Oh, yeah, those felt more like pads, sort of.
yeah,
Okay.
but it was still like, I don't fucking know what to do here, so
Right.
I'll put a whoa there. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just spend the extra time, think about
be a little
what
more
the fuck
deliberate,
to put there, and have something with meaning.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, so we usually hang out for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Eat some shitty food. Probably get some bevs one night.
Hang out, just
Hang
talk
out.
about life, get real deep. Wake up, pretend like it didn't happen. We'll just. I didn't tell you anything.
Like, what's up, dude? You ready to work?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
last night was super manly and
totally normal, and I wasn't vulnerable at all.
I definitely didn't get drunk and tell you all my feelings. But yeah, I'm having trouble trying to name this one, dude.
Yeah,
Wet Milk came difficult as well because I had to do a poll. Remember,
dude,
it was like
I was pulling for Papa's Big Break. In my heart, that's still Papa's Big Break.
that's the working title is Papa's Big
It's
Break.
beautiful.
It really, it's what I wanted it to be, and that's what the heart of the record is. And you know what? It kind of like came true.
Really? What do you mean?
Well, okay, so I was like doing half Bill Murray, half normal studio work.
Yep.
And then when that album came out, I was kind of like, shit, I can just do all Bill Murray and less studio work, so I didn't have to take on work that, I was like not super stoked on.
Stuff that you're just doing
for the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just that sellout shit.
But that's what it is. I mean, it's still a cool job to have. It's still
doing stuff for the money is not selling out.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a bitch is selling.
Honestly, yeah.
But yeah, so I was having trouble naming the Wet Milk, and it was between. So, anyways, the names I have now. One is Moist Drip.
Okay. I feel like
I didn't like your reaction to that.
It's just I'm thinking like Wet Milk, Moist Drip. Like we're on the same I
know. Yeah, that's how I felt.
But I'm also just waiting for the other one so I can wait.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
But even just your reaction on that one probably won't.
Sorry, I just killed it. Everyone is like, "Oh man, that was like the best thing ever."
No, it's good. It's good. But it was the next one's Hot Salad.
Loving it. I like that more.
You like hot salad?
I'm a hot sauce boy, so that I can picture that one a little bit.
Okay. Well, hot salad's pretty good. It just wasn't hitting me like.
It's going with the adjective, like consumable product.
Right. Exactly.
Format.
Which is okay with
it's
me.
It's not bad. Yeah.
Because I did like banana taco and all that shit.
Right.
Hot salad was one. Billingsley's Day Off. I'm just kidding.
Dude, see, even that. You said it was difficult to get these titles, but you're killing it right now.
Well, I really can't think of it. I know it'll come to me at some point, but
I think when you know, you'll know. You know what I mean?
I know. When I said Wet Milk, I was like, actually, no, I didn't know. I questioned it for like
you did like
weeks.
A poll and stuff like that, and I think that's kind of a cool way to do it, just because it puts some of the like sort of excitement back in it for you, as opposed to like everything being very deliberate and very like stuck in it, where you're like, well, I guess this is the title, we'll just roll with it. It's like, we'll see what other people think, and then I guess it's something fresh for you. You're like
I don't know if I thought of Wet Milk. Maybe I did. I think I was in my car and I just thought it and started laughing out loud.
You're just like, sure.
I was like,
like, all right, that's
all
what
right,
it is.
That's what we're calling it.
I love it.
But the other name is Grade A Bangers.
I mean, that's what they are. It's just like, this is an album by Bill Murray, and it's all grade A bangers.
It is.
I think that fits well.
It's all hype. I added a sad song that I had already written
Really?
from like 2 years ago. Super depressing. It's the most depressing song I've ever written.
Have I heard this one?
Hurt?
Yes,
It's
dude.
not-
I remember like that was like 3 records ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, you have to put this one out. You're like, I don't know,
It was
Dude.
one of those ones where I was too scared because it was
I
so
understand.
fucking depressing.
dude. It's a great song though. Like that definitely needs to make
I
the
know.
record. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, like the record I finished. It'll probably get longer once we do vocals because you usually end up doubling parts. But
right.
I put all the songs together and it's
Mm.
like 17 minutes long. So I can-
Dude, that's a drive to work. You know, you get the full thing. You don't have to wait.
I know,
for
but
later.
I'd like it to be 20 minutes or something. So
That's fair.
adding Hurt would make it a little bit longer.
Pushes it over.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's not. Yeah, that's
grade A
that's
bangers
good
is,
idea.
what about certified grade A bangers?
I'm down with that as well. Like that.
If you had to choose.
I think going the certified, take it the extra mile. You know?
Yeah, just be more bold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other one I had.
Also, I like longer titles for records. Like
Yeah.
a fever you can't sweat out. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
it's not just like
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. All my album titles are like. The one thing
And-
though
and
is I
song
want to make
titles.
them so like people instantly remember them. Where it's like, you hear it once and you're like, you kind of have a
I
reaction.
feel like certified grade A bangers is that way though.
Yeah, grade A bangers. Grade A
Well,
bangers
certified too.
rolls off the tongue though.
But if someone's like, "Hey, what record is this?" You're like,
Certified.
certified grade A bangers. Like it sticks with you in that way. It's just like, oh, we're being real about this right now. I like it.
Shit,
So,
and then I guess I could use the fucking
that's what I'm
seal
saying.
of
It-
approval,
like
the official
beef.
banger
Yeah.
seal, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I think that's the
potentially
move.
came up with the album name just now. Then
Could be it.
I'll have to run a poll. I
Yeah.
posted a couple days ago of people. I was like, "Well, you guys get to name one song," and they
Oh,
named it. You guys get to
Yeah.
name one song.
I saw that one was like getting a lot of upvotes. I didn't know if that was gonna stay.
It got like 300,
okay,
and I was
Yeah.
like, "All right, well,
well,
fuck."
that's it.
Yeah, I didn't learn from all the other corporations.
Yeah,
that
like Bodie
offer-
McBoatface
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's like, yeah, the people will come up with something clever, which
Yeah.
it was pretty
it
clever.
was clever. Yeah,
But, you know,
that's
I was
part
like,
of the goof. You know, that's
I know. Well, now I got to figure out what song I'm going to name that. But,
hurt.
yeah,
just like not destroy, but you know, like take something that was like so
people come into the song with such a light heart because of the name. And then they're just like,
destroyed by the end.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I mean, that could be the move, dude. I don't know. But anyways, I usually get, when you do vocals for an album, do you get like kind of depressed afterwards? Or maybe
After
I'm just
finishing the
always
record?
depressed.
Oh man,
kidding.
it's hard. No, it's hard because you're a lot more like frequent and what's the word? Prolific with like the way that you write and record. So it's like you'll knock it out and then you're on to the next album already. For me, I think I'm burnt out by the time I finish vocals because it's like 12 songs all at once, and I'm just
Oof.
like, oh man.
Do you do them all at once?
I usually do, like in sections. I'll do all the guitars for the record, then all the bass for the record, all the drums, all the vocals. That's how I've done it in the
makes
past, at least.
So much more sense to do it that way.
Maybe
It's more efficient.
unless you like destroy your voice and then like half the record's really good and half of it's like you're blown out, you know, which
Yeah, then you'd
Yeah.
have to wait for a little, like 3 days before you got
right.
back in the game.
But by the time I'm done, I'm like, I don't really want to do vocals for a while. I want to just like hang out and do whatever.
Dude, 12 songs is
It's a lot.
a shit ton to sing.
I'm trying to take a break from that and just do the like 7, you know, something like that. Makes a lot more sense.
Right, because you're
seems to
releasing
fit.
like an acoustic E EP.
Yeah, so that'll be like I think 5-6 songs, something like that. So those are that'll be way easier to just like knock all the vocals out and be like still a functioning person, not destroyed afterwards.
Plus, it's chill. It's chill.
Right.
So it's like, you're not like,
Screaming.
yeah. Like, there's some screaming in Island Fire, too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's
some
high
growling
shit.
and yeah.
So what was the idea behind this? It's not acoustic, though.
Yeah, I think it started that way though.
Yeah,
It started as,
most
like,
of it's just you on a bongo, like speaking in Spanish, and
saying
each
like
song
slam poetry in Spanish.
Each song is like 45 minutes long.
Right, yeah. Dude, I had to work on a record like cleaning up all the vocals for it, and it was like a 45-minute track that was just bongos and someone singing. It was real tough.
That's tough, dude.
It was an ordeal.
Well, that's like it's an undertaking to.
That's one of those.
Listen to the whole thing, let alone edit the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but you're not doing that.
Not doing that though. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe sometime in the future we'll get there. No, it started out as an acoustic thing. Really inspired by some musicians that I grew up listening to when I was a lot younger. And then I have
Toby Mac.
No, this is like folk singer named Richard Schindel. He was like the first CD. I like stole the CD from my dad and like took it in my bedroom and was like, I love this, and it's whatever. But yeah, so super into that, and I have this like insecurity where if it's just me and an acoustic guitar on a song, I feel like it's not full enough. There's not enough there. So started adding like strings and like brass and woodwinds and everything, and it kind of took over the guitars where there's no, like, you can't even hear the guitars anymore, and it's just like a giant orchestra and me singing, and I like where it's going, so why stop? Maybe I'll release the acoustics like versions separately, or something like that.
For that money,
get that double bank. But no, I'm just kidding. No, but it's coming along really cool, and it's just, it's nice to do something a little smaller to not have to do a full rock record. And
dude, it takes a lot of work to do a full, but you've put a lot of work into this. I feel like it started off and you're like, let's just do a little acoustic EP, and then you're like, fuck. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. Was going to be like some versions of Island Fire acoustic or something like that, and now it's like,
and then just turned into its own beast.
Do
you know what the name of it is?
Yeah, speaking of long titles, Close All the Blinds, Lock All the Doors, Say No One's Home. Went real
and dab on grandma.
And dab on grandma.
Why'd you pick that?
It's a lyric from one of the songs, but there's a band called Mew, and they have a record that's like really long, like way longer than that, and I was just like, that's kind of weird, and I like it. I think it's kind of cool. So just decided to go that route. I like the sentiment behind it because it's sort of about like self-isolation, or like the idea of self-destruction, and how, I don't know, just acknowledging that, which parts of the record are about that. And so just felt like a very poetic way of saying that. I don't know.
Self-isolation, dude.
Self-isolation.
That shit's real, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Do you feel that way?
With what? Like
life.
With life, just like that I isolate myself from it? Or?
Well, when you're writing the record.
Yeah.
Because one thing I've realized is, like, in order to make music, you have to spend absurd amounts of time by yourself.
Yeah.
But you also need to like hang out with people at some point in time. And so like it's really difficult for me to balance those two things, because you're like, all I want to do is write music.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm really alone.
Yeah. That's the thing. Well, and I don't know about you, but I place a lot of my self-worth on like how much I accomplish, or if I accomplish things. So if I'm hanging out with friends, then I'm not finishing this music, which means I don't have anything to show for myself. So I end up doing that, but then I don't have friends to hang out with because I've cut myself off. So it's sort of a,
they stop hitting you up.
They don't, but you know what I mean? You just get in that mindset, like maybe my friends think I'm like ditching them or something, whatever. So I had that realization recently where I was like, I should just like slow down on the record if I need to, so that I can have friends and do things that I want to do, and stuff like that.
I feel like, a lot of the times people kind of romanticize extremism.
No way. Yeah, I mean, they do.
It's like, that like the whole like Bon Iver story. Like he went to a cabin by himself and
he locked himself away for a year.
Yeah, his girlfriend broke up with him. He had nothing. And then he made this amazing album. Right. And there's something cool about that. But also at the same time, like, you can't like recreate that or force that to happen. Like,
no.
And, like, abandoning all of your relationships and friendships isn't like a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, I got you.
It isn't a prerequisite of like making good art.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Like a lot of the times, at least what I've been realizing with Bilmuri is like the more people I bring into it, the way better it is. Like getting people to do a sax solo, guitar solo, or like, write this part or do something like that. It helps. But there is that aspect of isolation. Yeah.
Well, and I think it isolation can provide a cool thing if you actually are isolated. If Bon Iver, like, he felt utterly destroyed and he felt like he needed to get away and write this record, that might have been the inspiration he needed or the mindset he needed to be in. But in the past, I've like gone on like hour-long walks where I just only listen to like the most depressing records I can, so I can come back and write the saddest music I can like think of, which is awful and
it
stupid.
doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't. And it was like the most contrived stuff. I ended up like throwing it away and starting over, because
it's kind of like emotionally jerking off.
Yeah, it really is. Like it's not real. Like it's you're just fabricating this mentality where you're just like, I'm so sad, when really I was probably having a fine day until
like,
I did that.
I'm chilling.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I was like, I need to be productive and get depressed. Like, no, that's so dumb. There's like one of my favorite directors, David Lynch. He talks about how like transcendental meditation, which is like his big thing. And he talks about he writes like the strangest TV shows, very dark, very intense, some of the weirdest stuff I've seen. And he talks about how he cannot write if he's not happy. Like if he's not at a place of like contentment with his life, then he's just not going to be a productive writer or creator or artist. So I don't know.
Yeah. One thing that I've thought too a lot is like, I feel like a really good artist can write when he's happy, write when he's sad.
Yeah.
You know, in any situation. That way it's like you feel like you don't have to feel a certain way to write music. Like if I'm happy, I'm going to write happy music.
Right.
If I'm sad or pissed, I'm going to write sad or pissed music.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing to me is when, I don't know if you can do this, but I feel like everyone, well then baby, you are everyone. But like it's pretty easy to sense music that's not genuine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like you know, in a song like the lyrics like really hit you.
Right.
You feel it. I
or
feel
even
like
if you don't relate to it.
Yeah.
You just know like they really felt this. This was true for them.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not everyone. So maybe, you know, if I can't relate to a song, then it doesn't mean that everyone can relate to it.
It's worthless. Well, and I feel that way about a lot of art. Like if there's artists I don't enjoy their art, like it's not something I would have in my home or anything like that, but I respect where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's just an important thing, is like understanding respect versus enjoyment. And you should respect all art that's intentional and true and accomplishes what it set out to do.
But I love talking shit.
I mean, you can have an opinion. You be like, I don't enjoy this, or and I think it's good to also like critique and understand what you don't like about something, so that you can make your own art better and identify the things that you want to avoid.
I think the things I talk shit about are the ones that I sense like you're being a fake fuck right now.
Yeah, I see that with you. That's a consistent thing that you point out. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
I don't know, but there's no way to tell. You can't tell if someone's motives.
You really can't. And that's the hard. I mean, all they have to say is, "No, I did mean it," and then
you're like, "Oh shit."
I'm not saying you have to believe
reverse
that.
card.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't know. It's a hard thing, but I think I don't know. That's it. This is a whole can of worms. That
it is.
It's tough.
It's a strong can of worms.
Yeah.
But you felt like you wrote this from like a self-destructive place?
Not all of it, but there's definitely like so there's songs where it's like I acknowledge that I cut myself off from people sometimes, or I distance myself, or I whatever, and part of it's me acknowledging this is why I do that, like being frustrated with things where I'm like, that like pisses me off, this is why I do the things that I do.
Like what?
Like back to the insincerity. So if I can tell that somebody's like being like a schmoozer or something like that in order to like whatever, then I'm like, this is slimy. You just see me as some like a means to an end or something like that. Like I don't want to trust you. I'm going to cut myself off from that or whatever. And then another part of it is the opposite side where I'm like, hey, I've really cut myself off from people who were good and whatever. So there's a little bit of all parts of the spectrum on this record where it's, yeah, I don't know. And then there's other songs that are not related to that concept at all. But generally that's the idea, is like being separate from people or distanced from people, either by my own actions or by choice or by accident. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thought, because like there's definitely people I like that I like for some reason distance myself from.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what the frick? Dude?
Yeah. Why did I do that?
Why did I do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's a hard thing. I think one song I sort of address on nobody's heard them yet, so I can't really get into it too much, but it's essentially like, yeah, you've heard it, but yeah, it's acknowledging how I was afraid, therefore I like pushed myself away from people, and that hurt them just by me being afraid and choosing to like, stay at arm's length. It ended up being something that was really unfortunate for them. So I don't know. That's a reason. That's definitely one of the reasons why people I care about, I still move away from. But
jeez.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm not being a douchebag. I'm just kind of freaked out.
Yeah. You're like too nice, so I can't hang out with you because I'm not nice enough.
Right. Or like going over to your house freaks me out. I can't explain why.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to go over there. Maybe that's on me.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things like you're not justifying it. You're not saying like this is right. I'm whatever. Or at least I'm not on this record. I'm saying like, hey, I know this is bad of me. I'm working on it, but I just want you to know why, as opposed to it being a thing of
you're just wondering.
This dude disappeared. Like we were friends for however long, and now like I don't talk to him anymore or hang out that often. So like, why is that? You know what I mean? So, dude, this is me being like, it's because I suck, but I'll get better. Yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, so that's where that album.
So how close are you to finishing?
Tracked a bunch of flute the other day, which is pretty sick. Yes. Paul's got to track some trumpets, and trombone's happening next Saturday, so I'm really excited for that. And then we'll see where we're at. Those are sort of the foreseeable future pieces that need to be in place. Oh, and then re-recording vocals and guitar.
You're going back to do the guitar again?
Yeah, it's just to have it there, because right now it's pretty sloppy, and I think it sort of gets in the way.
I felt that way too. Yeah. I was like, this riff is so fucking sick. But there's some like parts where there's fret buzz, and I'm like,
exactly. Yeah, it was just like I set up one microphone. I was just like, I just need to get the idea down so I can write this song, But yeah, so just sort of fine tuning everything.
I got like a lot of backyard vibes.
Yeah, and that's
on some of the acoustic stuff, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing for sure.
Like, if I were to explain backyard, it'd be like a crisp autumn day.
Beautiful. That's when it was written.
with like the dew on the leaves and all that stuff.
Right.
All that shit.
Yeah.
No, like I don't care.
No, that's definitely the vibe, and the music video just got re-released through Boketo Media, so check it out. And it was inspired by like a movie that was filmed like almost entirely like during golden hour in the like late summer, early fall. So
it definitely hits me with those vibes.
Yeah.
And then the songs on this record do as well.
Cool.
But that's then good. You're not only doing this, but then you're gonna release this one and do like a full band.
Yeah. Oh, it's I've already started writing for the next one.
Did you really?
Yeah, I've got like
that's what the fuck's up.
3-ish songs at least. So yeah,
I haven't heard that.
I'll play them for you, but
okay,
they're not like done, but they're getting fleshed out a little bit.
They're not done.
Unbelievable. I don't want to hear them. No, but yeah. So I don't know. I was sort of in a place where I was like, I don't want to record these right now, the acoustic stuff. I just want to keep writing, and I'm just feeling the vibe and
keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I've done the orchestral thing for a while now, like been working on it. So it's like I kind of want to write some rock music again, and
I need to blang on a guitar super hard.
I want to shred. I got that Strat, so I was like, I want to play the Strat a little bit. I want to start soloing, get some blues licks going.
Yeah, dude. Well, when I was doing this record, it was like I wrote 6 songs in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Actually, I wrote way more than that, but I canned like the first 10 songs on the record because I was just like,
not good enough. When you say you wrote them, like how far do you get into them?
Verse, chorus.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a third part, but like all the instruments, verse, chorus.
Right.
Varying degrees of that.
Yeah.
So I wrote probably like 7 or 8 songs and just scrapped them continuously, and then I finally hit a rhythm. But then I wrote 6 songs, and I was like, I need one more song, but I hate that feeling when you're like, oh, I just need one more song to punch out the
it's like
listen time.
A filler, quote unquote, and you're
yeah,
like, I don't want to treat it that way.
But yeah, or just treat the song like, oh, it's one more song. So I actually took a week and didn't do anything because I just didn't feel like doing it, like inspired, I guess.
Right. That's the genuine part of it, you know?
Yeah, but I was wondering, because there was one day where I wasn't feeling inspired.
Right.
And I just was like, hey, John, piece of shit, you're going to fucking sit down at that computer and you're going to write a song. And I wrote a really great song. So
That's
it's
awesome.
like, but I do think like me waiting that week helped because, you know, I just was able to kind of reset my mind.
Right.
But there's this weird balance between you want to be disciplined, you know, which means doing shit you don't want to do. Like, I'm going to sit at this computer, I'm going to write a song. But at the same time, you don't want to be too disciplined because then it becomes you just churning out like uninspiring bullshit.
Right. Or you're just not, if you don't have the inspiration or the care, then that is going to translate like we were talking about earlier. People are going to be able to tell and you're not going to feel fulfilled ultimately by that. Yeah.
And like, I definitely will come into these modes where I'll write a bunch of songs where I'm like, this is a decent song.
Yeah.
Like, I should probably put this on a record, but it doesn't make me happy.
Right.
I'm like, ever since Wet Milk, I'm like, I'm only doing songs that I like make me smile within the first 5 seconds.
That's
like, if it doesn't do that, if I'm not like feeling happy, like beyond excited about the song, it's getting canned.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's a great thing.
But it is weird to like strike that balance between being disciplined and then being patient with like the ideas, like not forcing them, but letting the idea come to you and being able to execute on the idea. But I don't know.
Well, and taking that week, I think it really is a good thing because if you get burnt out and you're just burnout, well, and doing that sort of thing for like a filler or a last song, or it's like I just need to get it done so I can like finish this record and put it behind me, then you're not in the right mindset. And it sounds like you recognize that, which is a great thing. And that's sort of how I felt about this EP is it's like I've been sitting on these songs for so long. I've heard them enough that like I know if I went to record them right now, I'm just going to do the work and be done. I'm not going to be excited and like care about how my takes sound and everything like that. I'll make sure they sound good, but that's not the same thing as like being passionate and excited about something.
Going the extra mile to like, I'm going to, like, is this vocal melody good enough or is it like fantastic?
Is this like, do I love it? Did I fall in love with my emotion? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that's honestly like taking the time, like going and doing something else. I don't know. Like I've been really into like going on walks down the highway and stuff like that, which is not a productive thing to do. There's nothing involved with that, there's nothing to show for that, but taking a week to just do that or something and not be productive or proactive or working, honestly, like shows more care, I think, than like sometimes buckling down and just doing something and just being like okay with it in the end. And the opposite is true with what you're saying. Like you sat down, did the work even though you didn't want to, but you came out on the other side feeling fulfilled by it, which I think is equally cool.
I only think discipline like that, no matter how I feel, is like a temporary thing to get through that kind of barrier. Right. But burnout is like, you know, I have legitimately have nothing left in the tank, and now I'm just doing dumb bullshit. I'm not at my top mental capacity right now to be able to make something. I feel sick to my stomach and tired. Dude, I actually think that's kind of what I hit a couple weeks ago. It was like I was like, oh my god, I've been writing these songs for
a whole 2 days. I'm just kidding.
For like a month maybe.
Right.
And I think I just subconsciously stepped back without really knowing what I was doing. My body was just kind of like, you need to chill on this record.
Right.
And then the song came to me. I do think there's that aspect, or like do you ever get into the mindset where you're like, the only thing I need to do is work on this record?
Like that's the only thing that matters in life.
Your life becomes single faceted.
As far as my passion, goes, like this is the
only
only
thing
I care about.
As far as a project like you're working on, your mind is only. It's like
that's the only thing I care about, is what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
To like an unhealthy point.
Yeah, where it's like I'll stay in my room all day. I'll just work on that, and yeah, nobody will see me, and I'll come out with like a whole thing done. And yeah, I like that. I think that's a great way to be. Balance is a great thing to have, but I think compartmentalizing is also a great thing. So if you just take a full week or two to just do that, and then you come out on the other side and you can just enjoy life and not worry about Pro Tools for a while or whatever, like then great. That's balance in its own way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think for me, I have an obsessive personality.
Yeah,
big surprise. But my life just slowly becomes single faceted.
Yeah,
and
I get
then
that.
I like kind of pull my head out of my ass,
right,
and look around and realize that I've not done anything other than make music,
right,
and I feel like I'm going a little crazy.
Yeah.
So what really helps me is to take a step back from that, go like hang out with people, not even like think about music. I actively will like try to not talk about.
Right. You're just like,
because
change
also
the subject.
I don't want to be the guy who like only talks about his band.
Yep. Oh, especially, yeah. I was going to say music in general, but yeah, just talking about your band, that's a hard place. I mean, it makes sense. It's the same thing as people talking about work. Like, that's their life. That's all they know. Not all they know, but
you never want to hang out with someone who only talks about their
No,
work.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind. And even if you don't want to hang out with people, if you do want to stay like in and work on music the whole time, forcing yourself to go out and put in the effort to have a life outside of music is
that's where
really
I feel like I need to do. Because during Wet Milk, I was like, during a lot of records, I was kind of just doing other shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, as time goes on, it became I just became too obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And, there is an aspect of overthinking everything.
Right.
And I did that with Pasteurized too. I had that like I've been sitting on the songs for a little while, and I had a period of time where I'm like, dude, this whole fucking thing sucks.
I'm going to throw it away.
Yeah.
Dude,
I was close.
Too.
And then I started, luckily you guys kind of pulled me out of a little ditch there, but I started sending it to people on Twitter.
Oh, nice. Like, that's good.
It's like Twitter is like my beta test. So I said DM me if you want to hear the songs.
Right.
And I sent it out to a couple people, and they really liked it. So it gave me
the fuel,
the gumption.
Yeah, the gumption. I like that. Yeah,
to put it out, and people really like it. So yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah, you should definitely. I get in the same way with my music, where I'm like, maybe I just need to like scrap this and move on to something else, or quit music forever, and whatever. But
oh my god,
I think just sort of running it past.
I should probably just sack up and get a job at Best Buy, dude.
Dude, I mean, no hate on that either, because you got to make money, but also
but let's be honest, all scene kids end up working at Starbucks at some point.
I was about to say, I think I'm gonna get a job at Whole Foods here in a second. I turned
tattoo
26
artist.
I turned 26 like in a few weeks, so I'm gonna be off my family's health insurance. So I gotta figure that life out.
Starbs, dude.
Starbs or Whole Foods pays better
benefits
per hours, or per hour. You get like 15 an hour as opposed to like 8. So
there's also this company called Uber, dude.
Oh,
where you drive and they pay you hardly anything.
People don't like when I drive. I get like a 2-star. Yeah, I hydroplaned on my way here.
But then you get famous because someone's like, I picked up the worst Uber driver.
Yeah. I go viral for the wrong reason completely.
You're just listening to Whalebone.
Yeah. Dude, I've heard about people doing that. I have a friend who works for he works with Salesforce, which is like a Silicon Valley kind of company and everything. He was in an Uber and told somebody where he worked, and so that Uber driver like pitched him his app idea the whole drive, and he's like,
love it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm not gonna Not going to use
Dude,
that.
rise and grind, bro.
Oh, true. That's
Where are you?
entrepreneur sort of thing. Start wearing suits and doing this pose a lot. Just
it's like, dude, your suits are way too tight. You're like, slim is in.
Slim is in.
Slim, it's a slim cut.
It's a power suit. It's not a
slim cut. That's from Brooks Brothers. It's a slim cut pinstripe.
Dude, yeah. I feel like I would be the worst, like, I don't know, I can wear a collared shirt just fine, but if I have to dress up for a job or something like that, I just end up looking like way worse than I would if I just walked in a t-shirt. There's something about doing things that I don't want to do because I'm told I have to do them that, like, I'll do it, but I'm going to execute it in, like, the worst way possible.
True.
So walking around in, like, a collared shirt for, I don't know, a job or something like that, I just really can't.
Yeah, I'm not good at dressing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I look more homeless when I dress up than when I just wear normal
You get
clothes.
like the pirate arms, like the really, really billowy. Like I don't have any shirts that actually fit me.
Yeah,
like
I always wear those medieval
attire.
frilly shirts with the puffs, and people think I'm weird.
Do you actually have those? I was gonna say.
I walk around town. I'm like, good morrow.
You change your accent completely. I love it. That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why Starbucks didn't hire me. But
Yeah. That was my interview outfit. That's all
I just kept screaming, "Scrub the deck."
That was your whole LinkedIn profile. Was like all of your previous.
Scrub the deck,
Yeah.
you squash bucket. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Dude, you invent it. You're the pirate in that situation.
Dude.
They're not. They
I know.
have no gatekeeping power.
I'm stealing the booty.
There we go. That's probably why it was the booty comment that didn't let them do it.
But yeah, what the fuck were we talking about?
It's a great question. Well, we were talking about, going too deep into records. And
we're talking about getting too overanalyzing something instead of just stop thinking about it and put it out into the world and, be a normal person.
Well, yeah, I think we got sort of a thing with art. I don't know when this happened, or maybe it's always been the case, but you idolize the people like that you look up to, the artists that you look up to, the musicians that you look up to the point where you think it's some divine, perfected, amazing thing that they spent forever on and they didn't put it out until it was the perfect thing. And they may even tell you that's true, but they're human. Everyone's human. So there's definitely things that they did that were stupid that you may find endearing or like cool, but they were completely unintentional on their part. And
yes.
So if you just accept that you're human and can move on and put out something, show it as like a snapshot of your progress, where you're at as an artist or as a producer or whatever. I could sit on a mix that I'm working on for a client for weeks, or I could send it to them and they could be completely happy with that. And it could be just as good as what I'm going to agonize over for another 2 weeks and be whatever.
Not give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hate it more. Like I can still listen to the mix that I just sent a client and be like, yeah, this is sick. I'm glad I did this. As opposed to if I waited a whole other week, it would have been some agony. I don't know. That's silly to do. Time does not equal quality.
Right. I feel like the more afraid you are, the shittier stuff you put out.
That's definitely true. Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking about just being afraid or having like anxiety or something like that. Maybe partly, but the more afraid you are of like other people and the opinions of others, I usually find that that's where crappier art is made.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to consider what other people want. And as for me, I love making people laugh and making people happy. So that's going to be a part of it.
Sure.
But at the same time, I think there's, a lot of artists who want to take some risks, and they're ultimately not crazy risks. They're like, oh, we probably shouldn't do that or say that. And it's like, the more you're dictated by fear, I think the more your shit sounds like everyone else.
Yeah. And if your goal is to pander to other people, then this again goes back to our whole insincerity thing. You're just doing things in order to make other people happy, and you're not actually fulfilling yourself creatively.
Do you think that's why artists burn out so much?
Because they start to worry about other people?
Or they're just doing shit because other people want them to, and it's not what they want to do?
Maybe. Honestly, it's hard to say. I'm really not in that place.
You need to
right
paint
now.
all of them in one, black or white.
Yeah. No, I may have said to that. Like that's definitely I think there's definitely people where that's the case. I'm like so not in that place right now. I just had like a realization a few weeks ago where I was like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and if it's not what people like, then it's not for them. And like, you know, you can say that with like a with like in a, how do you say that? I don't give a frick what people think. Exactly. Like you're retaliating against somebody and whatever. But no, it just was like a thing of like, I just want to start writing this kind of music now, and I don't really care if people don't like it. Like,
that's usually where the best stuff comes from.
Yeah, when you just sort of let it all go and you just are not focused on anything else.
You're free. You're free from the fear of others.
Yeah. Well, and the great thing about, and we've talked about this a lot before, but like where music is now, you can put out your own record. You don't have to rely. You can record your own record. You can put it into the world. You don't have to rely on a label or anything like that. So you're not. There's no gatekeeping involved, really.
Yeah.
You can put out, I don't know, lo-fi beats to chill and relax to, and your audience could not be into that at all, but there's nothing stopping you from doing that. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And which is wonderful. Like, that's amazing.
You're saying you're in charge of your own direction?
Yeah. And that's always been the case with life, but within the music industry or the art industry or anything like that, there's never been a time where we've had more of a platform, or your own like platform that you don't need anyone else for.
Yes, you have a level of creative freedom.
Yep.
Hitherto undreamt of.
Yeah. Honestly, like, who would have thought? It just sort of immediately, how are you going to reach more than your friends? In the past, it was you had a label that had the money to reach out to all these people, all the connections to reach out to all these people. With the internet, like, it doesn't matter anymore. You can just do whatever you want.
One thing, too, with the internet is social media, right? No,
these damn kids.
Yeah. That's like every podcast.
I literally on the way here, they were talking
it's
about,
like, what do you think about that? Facebook is fucking crazy.
They're putting out awful art and, you know, they're just doing it for the likes. They don't even care about the artistry anymore.
You're like, okay.
Maybe we said that earlier. I don't know. I didn't mean it in that way.
Well, I tend to contradict myself often. So
human.
That's, if anyone catches a contradiction in this podcast,
be sure to call it out.
Congratulations. I'm a human being. Fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, well. Oh, with Spotify, one thing that I was thinking is before Spotify, if you had an album that was like on shelves at a Best Buy and it didn't sell, it's gone forever.
Pretty
and
much.
No one can really discover your music beyond it being in shelves on a mass level, which is such a small fraction of musicians. But now with Spotify, your album has an eternal shelf life. Yeah. Someone 20 years from now could find Jaguar Shark randomly and just get it recommended to them and be like, oh, this is sweet. Yeah. Whereas that would never happen before. No. So I think it's kind of this new age where artists will kind of exist forever because it's forever preserved on the internet and able to be accessed at any point in time. Yeah. Which is amazing.
I think there was a lot of fear for musicians and who everybody involved at first, because it's like you're giving music away for free, essentially. Like it's at no cost to the consumer or anything like that. What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of it? And you're devaluing the music so much because there's nobody has to pay anything in order to reach it or anything like that. But that ended up being the best thing for music, I think.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. And at the same time too, you don't need to appeal to a mass audience.
You don't need, no, absolutely not.
You can have an audience of 1,000 people who will love your music and will do anything for you, and that can sustain you.
Yeah, which is awesome. As a self-sustaining musician, that's the thing that you want. You just want that core group of people that care enough to support you, and if you don't need to have, hundreds of thousands of record sales the first week in order to survive or be deemed worthy or credible, then who that isn't really relevant anymore. It's still cool to be able to say for some people, but I don't know, it's not the most important thing anymore. So
what we're saying is make some fucking music.
Yeah.
Put it out on Spotify.
That's what it's all about.
And see what happens. You could be the next Beethoven.
I'm
or
just saying.
batch.
Or batch.
Or Mazar. Anyways, guys, hey, we made it to the end of our first episode of Bilmuri.com.
Well done.
Wait, Bilmuri the podcast.
Oh.
Our only sponsor right now is Bilmuri.com. Go check out that sick-ass merch. It helps me live, helps me stay alive, helps me provide for my family. And, I hope you guys all have a blessed day. Bye.
Adios.